Okay, this is a video for review of the quiz tomorrow. Question number 1, you're going to figure out which equation is the identity. So you basically need to solve each equation. This is really a -1 out front, and I'm going to distribute. So I'm going to start with letter A. -1 times 2 is negative 2v plus 3 times -1 is -3. And is that equal to negative 2v minus 8? Well, we're going to combine like terms here, and you get negative 2v plus 8 equals negative 2v minus 8. And since these aren't exactly alike, it is not the identity. So A is not the identity. Moving on to letter B, we're going to see if that is the identity by basically doing the same thing. So if you combine the w's here, you're going to get 4w plus 8. And then over here, we're going to distribute the -2 to here and here. And that's going to be 6w minus 2w plus 8. And if you do the combined like terms on this side, you're going to get 4w plus 8. And you can see that these two are alike, so B is the identity. And you can stop there. You can go ahead and try C and D on your own, and you'll see that they don't work out either. So that's what you have to do on the quiz tomorrow. Moving on to question number 2 is like the quiz last week. We're going to say x equals the shrubs, and we're going to just put this into an equation. They bought potting soil for $17.50 plus the shrubs at 4 shrubs. Actually, this is the shrubs price. 4 shrubs, and that total is $53.50. And then you're going to go ahead and solve this equation by subtracting $17.50 from both sides, and then divide by 4, and you'll get your answer. The answer on the sheet is the correct answer, and then you're going to show a check and write out your answer. Moving on to 3, these are like the ones we did in class. You're going to set the 2 angles because they're vertical angles, they're congruent. You're going to set them equal to each other. And when you do that, you have variables on both sides. You're going to get the variables together. I'm going to bring the 3a over by subtraction, and you're going to get a plus 12. 4a minus 3a is 1a, but we don't write the 1. Equals 32. Subtract 12. And you get a equals 20. And then on the quiz tomorrow, so a equals 20, but then you're going to have to figure out the value of the angle, and it's basically a check. So 4 times 20 plus 12, that would be 80 plus 12 is 92. And let's see if we get the same thing down here. 3 times 20 plus 32, which is going to be 60 plus 32, which is also 92. So that checks out, and the angle measurement is 92 degrees. Okay, moving on to number 4. This is a unit rate question. You have 1,630 parts per 6 hours, and they want to know how many parts per hour. So you're going to just divide 6 into 1630. Okay, when you do that division, you're going to get 271.6. So it's approximately 271 parts per hour. I believe the one on the quiz tomorrow comes out evenly. Okay, moving on to question number 5. This is a proportion. We're just going to cross multiply. 2x equals 110, and then divide by 2. X equals 55. Again, you're going to be expected to be able to divide on the quiz tomorrow. Okay. And then number 6 is another cross multiply, or it's a proportion. You're going to cross multiply to solve it. If you have to, put that in parentheses and then go 4x minus 8 equals 10. Then you're going to distribute the 4, and you get 4x minus 32 equals 10. Add 32 to both sides, and you get 4x equals 42. Divide both sides by 4. And okay, so you divide both sides by 4, and you're going to get 10.5. Now, that seems like an odd answer, but let's check it. So go back to the top. We're going to do 10.5 minus 8 over 5. Is that the same thing as 2 over 4? And 2 over 4 is 1/2. So let's see if it's 1/2. Well, 10.5 minus 8 is 2.5 over 5. And 2.5 over 5, half of 5 is 2.5. So this does reduce to 1/2, and it does check out. So your answer is 10.5. And you do have to do checks on the quiz tomorrow. Moving on to the next one, which is 7, I believe. Okay, we're going to cross multiply. This times this is 12. X plus 2 equals 6. X minus 1. One of these questions does not check well, so but tomorrow's quiz they will check okay. So I might not do a check on this one. 12x plus 24. Distribute to 12. 6x minus 6. I'm going to bring everything to one, or x's to one side, numbers on the other. I'm going to subtract here, and we get 6x. And at the same time, I can bring this 24 over to the other side, because the numbers are going to be on the other side. And you're going to get 6x equals negative 30. And divide by 6, and x equals negative 5. I'm going to go back and check it. Is negative 5 plus 2 over 6 the same thing as negative 5 minus 1 over 12? And you're going to get negative 3 over 6, which is negative 1/2. And you're going to get negative 6 over 12, which is negative 1/2. Okay, and it checks out, and your answer is x equals negative 5. Moving on to 8, cross multiply, and you're going to get 4. 13 minus b equals 6. 2 minus 0.5b. 13 times 4 is 40, plus 12 is 52, minus 4b. And 6 times 2 is 12. And half of 6 is 3b. Then we're going to bring everything to the other side. So we're going to, let's bring the 4 over, because then it will be positive 1. It just works out better. And we're going to subtract the 12. So 12 is going that way, the 4b is going that way. And this is going to give me 40 equals b, right? Yep. Okay, now let's check it. Is 13 minus 40 over 6 the same thing as 2 minus 0.5 times 40 over 4? And let's see here. So this is 2 minus 20 over 4, which would be negative 18 over 4, which reduces to negative 9/2. And there's this 9/2 over here. Well, let's see, negative 40 minus this is 27/6. And 27/6 reduces to 3 goes into both. Negative 9/2, and it will check out also. So my answer, box your answer, box your check. Okay, on to number 9. This one I think is the one that doesn't check very nicely. You get 4w plus 14, well, let me write it the right way. 4w plus 14 equals 3 times 4w plus 6. So this is going to turn into 4w plus 40 plus 16 is 56. And 12w plus 18. I'm going to bring, since this is a, I want to get this 4 out of here. I want to go to the right with it because I want everything to be positive. And I'm going to bring this 18 over by subtraction. And this turns into 8w. And 56 minus 18, 28. And then w would equal 28 divided by 8, which reduces to 7 over 2. I believe that is the right answer. This one does not check very nicely. Let me check my answer real quick. Oh, sorry about that. I made a mistake. This should be 38. I thought something was wrong here. And then this reduces to 2 goes into 38, 19 over 4. And then the answer key is the reverse, but this is the right answer. There shouldn't be one that's that difficult on the quiz tomorrow. Sorry about that. Number 10, you're riding a bicycle. It takes 28 minutes to go 8 miles. If you continue traveling at the same rate, how long will it take to go 15 miles? How long is time? Let's say 8x is time, and that is in minutes. Okay, you're going to cross multiply to get this answer. Well, let's see how we do that. 28 minutes is to 8 miles, as x minutes is to 15 miles. Okay, we're going to cross multiply and divide, or just multiply both sides by 15 miles. And when you do that, your miles cancel out. You're left with minutes, and you just have to do 15 times 28 divided by 8. And you can do that. We did this one in class. So you can do that multiplication, 15 times 28, and then divide that answer by 8, and that's going to give you x. And of course you have to check it still, and you have to write your answer in a complete sentence. Again, we did that one in class. Should be in your notes. Number 11. This was on from the quiz last week. You have a rectangle. You have a width and a length and a width. I'm sorry, a length and a width. So these are both lengths. These are widths. Okay, but up here, and we have to identify that L equals length, and W is width. Okay, but it says the length is 5 centimeters less than twice the width. So it's 2W minus 5. So be careful with that. Some people made that mistake last week. Hopefully you won't make it again. Perimeter is adding up all around the outside. So I need my perimeter, which is 26, to equal W plus 2W minus 5 plus W plus 2W minus 5. And if I add that up, these variables, I have 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 W's, and negative 5 and negative 5 is negative 10. So I need to solve this equation here, and I'm going to get L is 7 and W is 6, I believe. Let's see if that's not right. Well, let's figure it out and see. I'm going to add 10 to both sides, and we get 36 equals 6W. W is 6, divide by 6. And then L, don't forget, L equals 2 times W minus 5. So 2 times 6 minus 5 is going to be 12 minus 5, which is 7. So then we're going to check it. You know, is 7 plus 6 plus 7 plus 6? Does that add up to 26? It does check. And you're going to write your answer out in a complete sentence. The width is 6 centimeters, and the length is 7 centimeters. Okay, so you're going to do that on your test tomorrow. You got to do Fini 5, and write out the complete sentence. Moving on to question number 12. The sum of two consecutive integers. So if n is the first integer, again, this was from the quiz last week, n plus 1 is the second integer. Okay, you need to know that. And they're going to add up n plus 1, the first plus the second, equals 59. Now, you can probably figure this out in your head, but we want to see the math for it. So 2n plus 1, 2n plus 1 equals 59. Subtract 1 from each side. we're going to get 2n equals 58. Divide by 2. And 2 into 58. Hopefully I can do this. It's 29. So that means n equals 29. Well, then n plus 1 would equal 30. And then the question is, does this check? Do the two add up to 59? And yes, they do. It checks. So then you would write the two numbers are 29 and 30. Okay, and then the last question, the answer is 2. And this should be a quick question for you. Minus 5. I'm going to get negative 10x equals negative 20. Divide by negative 10. And x equals 2. And then you can do a check. Negative 10 times 2 plus 5. Is that equal to 15? Or negative 15? Is negative 20 plus 5 equal to negative 15? And it does check. Okay. Thank you very much. Hopefully you're studying for this quiz and you watched the whole video, even though it was a 16-minute video. God bless you.